Yeah, I'm just getting static. All right. What about now? Oh, he left. He's back. Easy.
Wow.
The technical
Easy.
issues.
So much for that pre-meeting.
Am I back?
You're back.
There
You
he is.
hear your voice.
Dude, it's always something, you know. So yeah, there was a little bit of a fumble on the meeting yesterday, which I missed. But luckily, I had a little catch up with Dylan last night. So, you know, we would love to be able to share everything about this amazing project with you. But there are forces from above trying to keep us down in our little boxes. That's why we have this decentralized revolution, and we will share with you what we can. We're doing totally illegal stuff, trying to share books here.
Yeah, that's right. Breaking the law, breaking the law. Except actually, we're trying really, really hard not to break the law.
True.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna totally do the legal thing.
True.
Yeah, that's right. And so with that little intro, Jenna, why don't you tell us a little bit about the work that we wanted to publish that we're not actually going to be publishing, but we're still going to share with everybody in its current form?
Yeah, so hi
Spider's Eye, right?
Yes. So hi everyone. I'm Jenna Bernstein and I am a zine curator. I'm hearing some echoing, so maybe if everybody could mute their mics, that would be great. Thank you. So I last year, in the throes of being at home and quarantined, the onset of the pandemic, was like, oh, I want to do something to bring myself some joy, to spread some joy to my community, and to connect with the other creative individuals that are around me and also globally. So I created a call for submissions and the theme for this first zine. And for those of you who don't know, a zine is kind of just like a do-it-yourself magazine. Like I self-published this, I self-curated it, created it, like I put out a call for submissions. The theme was quarantine. I left it super broad. And I basically just posted on my Instagram and on my Facebook and reached out to all of my writer, artist, musician, photographer friends and said, hey, if you guys, want to be part of this co-creative, collaborative community thing that I'm creating, like, please submit. And I got about, I forget how many are in there. I think it's like 25, maybe 24 submissions that we ended up accepting. And I would have really loved—
such a self-starter. I just can't believe it.
Thank you.
Different submissions. I mean, did I hear that number right? That's just a really high number. That's about the number that we were working on with the Pizza Dow book. So I know exactly how much work that is. And you're telling me that you edited all of those. You got the writers for all of those. And then you created this beautiful finished product out of what they made.
Yes, I mean, I was hoping to be able to screen share so that I could scroll through, because my layout designer and graphic designer that I worked with, we all worked really hard to make something beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. We released it as a not-for-profit, so it wasn't for sale. It was literally just like here's like a hopefully bright moment in the midst of the pandemic. And a month after the release, I also had like a contributors launch party where I got a few of the contributors together who wanted to participate, and we all got to meet each other, because a big part of it for me is building that community and having the artists and writers that are featured in the magazine get to know each other, and maybe even they collaborate on something, something totally new and radical. I also
it's like building a community.
Yeah, and I encouraged in the zine too, readers of the zine, if they were really inspired or intrigued by any of the creators' work, I encouraged them to reach out. Most of the creators put their contact info on their bio page. I don't know if there's a way that I could drop the link to the zine so you guys can scroll through it while I talk about it. We were hoping to screen share.
Absolutely.
Yeah, where can I drop that link, guys?
Let's give you a little tag in the Libernet channel.
Thank you. And I'd love.
Let's go ahead and drop that here in the Libernet text channel, which is just a few channels above the voice channel. And then what I can do is I can try and open that up and then do a screen share.
Okay. So the Libernet, is it in today? I'm sorry, I'm so new to this server. Is it the
so if you're in Token Smart, yeah, it's in
right
today. It's just a couple channels down, the fourth one in today. And you should have a little like dot there signifying that we pinged you there.
Oh, you know, for me, the fourth one in today is Bully Meow.
Okay, so one above that. Sorry.
Okay,
I see a secret recording setup because I'm a mod.
All right, I just dropped the
Okay.
link, the Adobe file. So go ahead, guys, if you want to click through it. It's a lot of writing, but if you just, you know, scroll, or I guess you have to use the right-hand arrow, you can just quickly get a sense for the design aesthetic that we were working towards, how all of our creators have their own bio page next to their work. And there's just a lot of really interesting art and writing in here. And I invite all of you to, you know, save the link and take some time later if you'd like to peruse. Some of my personal favorites in here are Una Tempest's work. Her creations are so just ethereal and beautiful. Charlotte Rose Benjamin is also a beautiful songwriter and poet, and her work is featured in there as well. I myself am also a writer, songwriter, creative. I watercolor. I'm just a creative person, you know. And so I was thinking maybe I could just read one of my poems that I have in here. I'd love to read everybody's work, but I also want to respect that it's, you know, their work, their works. So yeah, if everyone's okay with it, maybe I'll just, you know, read a quick poem. Okay, great.
Do it.
Awesome. If anybody wants to like read along, this is on page 64 of the zine. And this poem is called Returning. And overnight, it is spring. I am reborn into a world I've known before. It isn't home, but it's somewhere, a location on the grid, a body to inform sensations of warmth and light, cool and shadow. Pale of palms pressed together in praise, another chance to teach them well. Dust on the windowsill, I wipe it clean. I find new ways to say I'm grateful. Thank you is a tired phrase. I care for plants, drink the light of sunset through new leaves, breathe a separate breath into each lung, stretch my tender legs, tired from walking for my mother, father, and friends, happy to have done it with no complaint. An inhale finds the work of lifetimes. Every exhale an apology for all that I've done wrong. I am learning, and for that, I can sleep. That is one of my poems. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, who's that?
That's really incredible, kid.
Oh, for sure. Mhm. Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, I spent my quarantine last spring in a very beautiful natural place and just had a lot of time I was very isolated, just had a lot of time to myself, and I ended up in a very meditative state for a lot of it, which I feel grateful for. And it helped me, that meditative state allowed me to, produce this. It gave me the space to do this. I thought maybe I'll also read the mission statement of the zine. Should have done that one first.
Yeah, because this mission statement is going to be something that's going to carry forward into the next one, right? It's going to be very similar between the two, and there's going to be some overlap, right?
Yeah. So I'll read you the mission statement, and then that can kind of segue me into putting out the call of submission for the upcoming zine, which if we have any readers or artists or videographers or musicians, now that Dylan and I are discussing getting this into NFT form and into the metaverse, I'm really interested in creating, a metaverse gallery space for this zine, basically. And I'd love to feature multimedia. Like I'd love to have, music videos like playing on the wall of my metaverse gallery. But yeah, let me get to the mission statement. So
that is awesome.
It starts with the definition. This is just on page II of the zine, but it starts with the definition of a zine, which is a noun, short for magazine, especially a non-commercial, often handmade or online publication, usually devoted to the specialized and unconventional, or to a specialized and unconventional subject matter. The name Spider's Eye for a publication and collection intends to capture the sentiment of viewing one item, subject, or theme from multiple vantage points. It was initially conceived as a co-creative and collaborative community experiment to foster a sense of connection and unity during the initial outbreak of, I don't even know if it should be 2019 or 2020, but the 2019 coronavirus pandemic into the spring of 2020. Oh, there we go. This zine was dreamed up, manifested, and produced entirely remotely and over many email exchanges, phone calls, and Zoom meetings. This publication aims to create and unite a community of creative thinkers, writers, and artists to continue a collaborative discussion around a new topic or theme each consequential edition. So the theme for, the theme for the upcoming edition, this one was quarantine. This next one is a little bit more risque. The theme is thirst trap. And so whatever that means to you, my co-editor and I actually intended to release Thirst Trap like last August, but both of us kind of got, swept up into other things and pandemic life. So it ended up just kind of being put on hold. And now that there's new life being breathed back into the project, I'm going to reopen submissions for Thirst Trap. So I'm going to put the submission email address into this. I guess it's the Libernet chat where I dropped the link.
Yeah, go ahead and throw it there, and what I'll do is I'll throw it on event links too, because that won't scroll away quite as quickly. And
okay. So maybe I should put it there. Or can I pin it? Can I pin it there? Oh no.
No, you can't pin it. Just throw it in, and I'll drop it in event links, so it's in both places. And I'm just saying that mostly for the audience. So you see this Spider's Eye Zine at gmail.com. That's the name of our magazine that Jenna's doing. And so if you want to contribute to the magazine, what you want to do is come to event links, and that email is right there in event links. It's also in Libernet, but it's already scrolling away. So that's just kind of how it goes.
There it goes.
Yeah, I went ahead and dropped it again. But yeah, I just want to just take a minute, because I know that we've got writers out there. Because wherever you find a reader, you always find writers hanging out there too.
That is right.
And I know that so many of the people that are in the audience right now that are listening to this are people who have thought about writing, or people who have wanted to be published, or people who have wanted to be part of these projects.
Yes.
And I just want to take all the time that it takes to really break this down and say to you guys, it is your opportunity now. You can come contribute to this thing. You can be a part of it. You can help Jenna develop it. And so there's a lot going on with the zine. And Yeah, I want to make 100% clear that this is something that's open to you guys as token smarties. If y'all are writers who want to.
That's not clear. If that is not like incredibly clear, I would love for anybody in here who's interested to submit. And Dylan actually just reminded me of another like foundational reason why I created the zine. I'm a writer, and I've submitted to, you know, countless literary magazines and, you know, just places that I was hoping to have my work published. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself. I'm going to create something awesome. And so hopefully this, you know, paves the way for other people, because like if anybody else is a writer, you know the process of being rejected, right? And so I just wanted to create a space that was like an open home. You know, we're really pretty like we'll suggest edits, you know, and like if things aren't quite right for the theme, we'll say, oh, maybe we'll hold on to this one and save it for an upcoming edition. But we really just want to help people get their work out there and invite people to be part of this community. So if you don't mind, Dylan, I'll just really quickly read the call for submissions for the upcoming edition, Thirst Trap. And then after that, maybe we can take some questions, or if anybody wants to talk, we can do that. But all right, here it goes. So Thirst Trap. This is a noun, and it's slang. On the internet, it's a social media post, especially a selfie or other photo, intended to elicit sexual attention, appreciation of one's attractiveness, or other positive feedback. That comes from dictionary.com. An alternative definition is a sexy photograph or flirty message posted on social media for the intent of causing others to publicly profess their attraction. This is done not to actually respond to or satisfy any of this attraction, but to feed the poster's ego or need for attention, at the expense of the time, reputation, and sexual frustration of those who view the image or reply. The intent behind this theme is to explore the intersection of human sexuality, technology, and desire. How has this pandemic affected our ability to seek, express, and satisfy sexual or intimate urges? Okay, so this is, you know, a little outdated. Some of this has changed, but bars and restaurants were closed. Maybe they still are in some places. Social distancing is recommended. How has COVID-19 quarantine and the ensuing evolution of social norms influenced dating, intimacy, and romance? In what ways have we been able to connect or disconnect from traditional modes of courtship, play, and satisfaction? This edition of Spider's Eye Zine will be accepting submissions in the following categories: visual art, imagery, poetry, essays, short stories, articles, audio tracks, short films, and interactive media, including but not limited to point-and-click games and web browser games. Submissions do not have to be sexually explicit, but, you know, sexuality and sensuality is encouraged or accepted. And we just want to see your best thirst traps and what thirst trap means to you. So that's the
awesome.
Yeah.
It's very, very risque. I love it. That's just epic. Yeah.
Like, it's not supposed to be pornographic or anything, but my friend and I were like, let's do something fun. You know, let's do something a little spicy.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit on the NSFW side, but maybe not like entirely over there.
Like on the border of NSF. Well, it really could be NSFW. This is an unrated magazine.
Nice. I love it. You know, it really makes me happy that the creators have the freedom to go and explore that part of life too, you know?
And the submissions that we've gotten so far, you know, they range from like really artful, they're not nudes, but like artful, you know, scantily clad photos, which honestly, everybody sees them all the time on Instagram anyway. So they're not even like that out there, but like artful portraits of people, as well as I got a crazy music video about like a vampire and a zombie that fell in love, and like it's hilarious and bizarre and amazing. Some poems, you know, but nothing has been like super explicit. It's all very tasteful so far. So maybe that gives people some ideas. One story actually that I'm obsessed with, I love this story so much. It actually talks about like sickness and romance, like someone who has a chronic illness and how, you know, sexuality interfaces with that aspect of her life. I think it's semi-autobiographical. I could be wrong, it could be fiction. But anyway, maybe that gets some people's brains going. And
yeah, it sounds like you've got a high bar. It sounds like maybe you're looking for some more explicit content. And, you know, maybe if anybody from the audience decides to participate, you know, maybe that's a good place to start.
We're not publishing any porn.
Okay, so no porn.
It will not go. It says no porn, no pornography. Artful representations of desire, please.
Absolutely.
But we also welcome pen names and aliases. I have somebody who submitted something. She's a personal friend of mine, so I know who she is, but she submitted it under a pen name. So this is also an opportunity, you know, if we have any people who like to write sexy things, to put it out there, and you don't even have to put your own name on it. So, bam. But also, if this is like way over the edge for all y'all, that's great too, and we'll have like more normal submission themes in the future.
Yeah, and honestly, like everybody in the audience, like just while we're on that note, like, you know, if maybe like you're not trying to be quite so literary, or maybe if you want to be a little bit goofier, we do still have the Choose Your Own Adventure project going over in the WIPP Discord. And that's another big collaborative project that everybody can get involved with if they want to. Oh, and I see Andy's in the audience. Andy's also doing something really cool, where people, if they want to, can collaborate to solve things like ciphers. And so really our focus here at WIP right now is just on building a community and adding value in, and you know, there's different ways for everybody to participate who wants to. So that's really cool. But Jenna, I think that you have kind of gotten through the magazine. You've kind of explained the call for submissions. And I believe now we actually have just one more little project that you've done that we need to probably talk about a little bit. I think we should probably take just a minute or two to see if anybody out there in the audience has questions or would like to ask you about your writing career.
Yes.
Or, what it's been like doing the doing the magazine. So why don't we take maybe just a few minutes here to see who pops in with a question. You can either just type it in chat, or if you're able to unmute yourself, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. There was somebody that I server muted a minute ago to cut down on some noise, but
I have a question actually.
Go ahead.
Can you say your name? Wait, say your name so I can find you.
This is easy.
It's not easy. Although we didn't
today easy. Sorry.
Yeah, we didn't get to meet at the meeting yesterday for some unknown reason. Oops. But so
eclipse, Mercury retrograde. Who knows?
Yes. Actually, there was an amazing eclipse last night, and I actually went to the top of a mountain at about 3:30 and took some photos and witnessed this amazing eclipse and then sunrise. It was crazy.
Easy, living my dream. Yes, I'm an astrologer as well, everybody, and metaphysicist.
Cool.
I can't even say the word. But yes, that's awesome. Eclipse is big.
I'm gonna share one of the photos here in a minute. But my question is, where or how or when-ish did you find your love for writing? Was it when you were like a kid? Did you always like making up stories and stuff? Or, you know, everybody kind of has a different time or way that they found their, you know, passion for a subject.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm one of those people that's like always been a writer. Like I feel like I was writing little storybooks. Like I was writing children's books like for myself as a child when I was like 8 or 9, something like that. And I also went to a charter school, if anybody knows, you know, that model of education where I got to do these things called project periods, where I got to choose what I wanted, like what my project was, and you could basically choose anything. So I think I was in 2nd grade, and I wrote a novella about my dog. My dog went on a cross-country road trip, and he got separated from my family. He went on a cross-country road trip, and he like hung out with some wolves, and it was like, I think it was like 120 pages. And I wrote that when I was like, you know, I don't know, how old are you in 3rd grade? But yeah,
that's so cool.
It's been a lifelong. I don't know. I don't remember it being challenging. I remember it just being like, this is so fun. Like I love writing and like I love creating, and I've always been a reader. So yeah, I think for me, writing and telling stories and capturing sensory experiences or capturing emotions has always been something that I've done. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, I think that's like part of processing things sometimes, you know, it can be like a deeply and profoundly like psychologically moving, you know, like way to like sort of deeply engage with like your own experience. That's like one of the things that kind of draws me into writing anyway. And that's actually kind of a segue to one of the other questions I wanted to ask you, because we are looking at doing your novella as an NFT. And as somebody who has been creating for her whole life and doing really cool stuff, but not really getting all that rewarded for it, do you expect to see anything different, you know, when you're in the NFT space? And if so, like what are you thinking? What are your goals here?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, the NFT space excites me so much just for I don't know, it's pure novelty and the fact that it's just a whole new frontier, you know, for creators to be participating in, creators to be putting their work up on. I feel I'm not exactly sure with the novella what I'd like it to accomplish being an NFT other than having visual components. You know, I'd really love for my novella, because when I write, I'm really seeing in my mind like a movie, and I'm trying to write the movie that I see. I'm also a screenwriter. I like write all the different things.
Oh, that's
And
really cool. Yeah,
I'm a screenwriter and a songwriter, all those things.
Yeah, you're
But
a writer. You
I'm
write
just a
whatever
writer.
can be
I'm a
written.
writer, I'm an artist. I'm also a ghostwriter and a creative writing teacher. If anybody ever wants to collaborate or just talk about, you know, creative writing strategies, I studied creative writing in college, and I'm really passionate just about helping people connect to their own voice, because I do believe that everyone has a story to tell and that everybody's voice should be heard. But back to the NFT specific, I'm more excited about it for the zine, honestly, or I'm equally excited for both, but the zine is where I really see it being able to take off, because as I spoke on earlier briefly, I really want to create like a metaverse gallery space for this project. Like, I want it to be the kind of thing where you know, you pay entrance. Like, maybe that's how the NFT functions, is you like pay entrance into the space or something like that. But just, you know, being able to reach more people, being able to innovate more with the storytelling, with the art, with the experience. The metaverse really speaks to me as far as like experiential curation opportunities. So I hope that answers the question, Dylan.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Totally doable to have the NFT act as a entry ticket into a metaverse spot.
Awesome. Who said that?
That was easy.
Easy.
Oh my gosh, that's very easy. Oh my gosh, well,
the British guy is Jim.
we should rap more about that, you know, as the second zine approaches. And, you know, Dylan and I spoke about maybe finding a way to make the first zine, Quarantine, launchable as an NFT. So yeah, I would definitely love to talk to you about how to make that metaverse gallery happen. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, buddy.
Anyone else have a question? Anyone else have a question? Literally, it can be about anything. It can be about the zine. It can be about me. It can be about you and your creative writing. Yeah, anyone. Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's a great question. Well, I kind of live life on what I call the the modular experience. Because I find that like I'll have a few months or a year of my life that's very dedicated, very devoted to one of these things. And so I kind of end up rotating through things in my creative my creative time. I also am like, is it fortunate? I have a freelance work from home job that really allows me to create my own schedule. I'm also, not that gainfully employed. So I'm hoping that maybe these NFT projects can contribute to some of my financial stability and actually reward me as an artist and creator. But yeah, it's really just passion and feeling like there's nothing else that I can do or want to do. Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's like why for me it's like I literally just come up with I'm really on like a music and songwriting kick right now, and over the past 2 months I think I've written like 30 songs, and I'm just like they just keep coming out, like I don't know what to do. I just if anyone's a music producer in here, like hit me up because I really need some producers for my songs. But yeah, it's like not a choice, it's like it's a must.
I think Sandy wants you to sing a song. It, it might be okay if you don't want to, but I mean, if you want to bust out a guitar and do some singing, I mean, that's all right. Otherwise,
I'm more of a recording artist, to be honest.
yeah, I mean, being put on
Play
the
you
spot like
something?
that is not any
Oh,
fun.
do you want to hear? I could play you my song. That's it's still a work. Oh my God, it's a whip. It's still a whip, but it's the song I've been
That's
working
okay.
on.
We're in for
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Let me go find it, y'all. Let's see. Um. Yeah. I don't know if anybody if the audience is more just like in listening mode, but I don't know if you can tell. I really love connecting with other writers and other artists and collaborators. So literally, even if you just want to say hi, unmute your mic and say hi while I go look for my song. And if everyone's bored, that's fine too. Whatever. But yeah, there definitely is a way to set it up so it's more like a clubhouse room where there are like speakers.
Yeah, there's a
And,
stage. There's a new
yeah, I've
stage
seen
thing.
that. I've seen that before.
It's
Um,
cool. I've seen a few times where it doesn't work if, maybe one of the people doesn't have their apps fully up to date, and then you're like starting the show and all of a sudden they can't get in. I've participated in that one.
nice. Well,
But it is cool.
I have the song if anybody like I don't know, should I play it? Is it way too much Jenna time? We can just stop.
No, play it.
The song is called Surrender, and hopefully it's gonna come out soonish.
I thought maybe that was me because I've lost audio a few times today.
Oh, can you guys hear it or no?
No, it just faded out. Like I heard the first couple of notes.
Yeah,
and
we
then
heard
like
the
the
few.
volume just went all the way down.
Yeah.
All right. It's not released. Sigh, it's not released. It's just a VIP moment, but I guess it's not gonna work. No,
Oh,
literally,
geez.
literally, I think the tech gods are like, Jenna, like, you are barred. Like, you can't share what you want to share today.
You know, I think it's a sign. I think it's a sign that we need to talk about your novella, Gemma. I think we need to talk about your
Dylan,
story just
if
a
you
little
want to
bit.
spoil the novella, go ahead.
No, I'm not going to spoil it. I promise. I'm going to let you talk about it, and then maybe I'll ask you a question or two about it.
Oh my
Or maybe
goodness,
Jimmy or
okay.
Nikki will have some. But I think that most of the good people in the audience here today came to hear a very special creator talk about her projects, and we would be absolutely remiss if we didn't give you a second with the mic to go ahead and pump the novella that we're looking at getting edited and putting out as a WIPP NFT book in the near term.
Yes. Well, this novella, which I didn't even really identify as novella until Dylan pointed it out, was a short story. I thought it was a short story that I wrote a few years ago. And, how does anyone even talk about their own writing? It's fiction. It's science fiction. And it really just deals, it's about my main character's name is Adeline. And she's just dealing with an existential crisis and trying to figure out if the world she lives in is real, pretty much. And everyone in this world takes this medication called Light Mind. And in my story, she stops taking her medication and then connects with another person who also doesn't take it. And together, they both kind of start having these reality glitches that, prompt them to question, what is the nature of our reality? What is the nature of perception? And also, what is the nature of happiness and what is real? So those are the themes that I discuss in this story. And I've been wanting to publish it for a long time because it lives in my head. It's exciting for me. So I'm really grateful to Dylan for taking on the project, and also so excited to see what kind of NFT metaverse capabilities there could be to go alongside this story. Because as I mentioned, I write very visually, and I basically can see the movie of what I'm writing. It would be really cool to have, visual accessories, or even, see this turned into a short film or a screenplay someday. But yeah, that's it. The working name is just Light Mind. So keep your eyes peeled for it. Yeah. Yeah. Right now it's 14,000 words. Oh. It's an undefined. It's an undefined. I also don't want to give too much of it away. So yeah, it's undefined. Yeah, you're gonna spoil it. Thank you. So if not Dylan, then you.
Well, we also, yeah, I mean, so this is a really cool sci-fi story, and it's set in like a really interesting universe, and basically, we're at like we're at a point where we haven't been with anything that we've presented in the past to you, Token Smart. We love you, Token Smarties, but this is work in progress publishing, and our whole thing is that we started with some finished books because we wanted to make sure that everything. But what we do is we offer editing service. We offer publishing service. We are a publishing house in at least one meaningful sense. And what that means for you as creators is that you may have something sitting around that you haven't done anything with for years and years and years because you're kind of stuck with it, or because maybe you sent it to a literary journal and they sent you an email back that had a response in it that said something like, we just don't think that this is right for our journal at this time. And that kind of feedback, it leaves you hanging as a writer because you don't really know what to do differently to make them interested. And even though maybe the problem was just you sent it to the wrong journal, you needed to send it to a different journal at some point. So one of the things that we're here to do, one of the missions that we have founded this company to serve is to help creators to be more creative and more effective. And so I just want to put this out there to everybody in the audience, but also, you know, to highlight Jenna and her remarkable work. We're working with her on that to get it going, and then we're going to launch it, and we'll probably do the whole nine. We'll end up doing an audiobook for it, the whole thing. And so if you're a talented writer and you're looking for a home for something that you've done, and it's a longer work, maybe it's a work that can't go in a journal because it takes up too much space or something. Well, great. You know, send it to us. Let's have a look at it. Let's see what we can make out of it. And to that end, there is a collaborative thing that we can do here because we have such a big community and because so many people are interested in what we're up to. And that thing is this. Jenna's novella needs a cover. I know we have some artists in the audience, and I know that we've got some artists in the WIPP Discord. But the thought here is that if somebody's interested in doing illustrations, if somebody's interested in doing a cover for Jenna's book specifically or for other books, one of the things that we're going to work on moving forward here is we're going to try to match artists with writers so that you guys can collaboratively create projects that are awesome together.
That, Dylan. It's so brilliant. Truly, truly.
Share your voice with us.
Share your voice.
You know, so many of us in this crypto art community, whether it be musical or, you know, visual art or writing, had dreams or passions about being in a gallery or being published, and have heard like oh, well, you have to change this, you have to change that, or you're just not good enough yet, or you need more of this.
Yeah, how about you're in the wrong industry? How about you're not in the right industry? I've gotten that one.
Right. So those people are closed-minded and, you know, in my opinion, can just hit the road in a polite manner. So many people here have gotten to express themselves, gotten to share their works, even had their works, you know, purchased by other people to enjoy and to support that creator. So I really just urge you, if you have something you've been working on or worked on a while ago, or you want to work on, like, this is the time to grasp that and go for it.
You guys are so quiet.
I've got kind of a doozy of one, and it's like a writer question. Like I want to ask you this question, Jenna, because I'm a writer, and I know it's going to be a hard question for you to answer.
Oh my God, what are you going to throw at me? All right, bring it. Get
the drum roll going. All right. What is it, Jenna, that makes you want to write?
Oh, this is easy. Easy. I write. So it's
easy.
No, it's funny because literally the reason I write is in the zine. I'm like, can I like quickly go back to my page? It's like I write. Gosh darn it. Let me just quickly get there so I can directly quote myself.
Total wimpy doozy, bro. Wimpy doozy.
Great. Sometimes I write just to see that I am alive, a magician capable of transforming nothing into something, spinner of worlds from vast void and channel. That's my answer.
Wow. Good answer.
Yeah, bro. See, that wasn't a wimpy doozy. She just knocked it out of the park.
I just knocked it out. I mean, I write
True.
for a lot of reasons, you know? Like, I write just to show myself that I'm powerful and can create on the page. And sometimes it feels really hard and I don't feel powerful. And on those days, I just write like brain dump. I don't know if anybody does automatic writing, but I also do automatic writing just to like get in touch with my own like inner subconscious, like deep layers of myself that like don't want to come out when I say, all right, I'm ready to write something. Does anyone know what automatic writing is?
Well, why don't you go ahead and break it down for us?
Yeah, so this is something that I teach in my creative writing classes. I often do this exercise. Basically, automatic writing is kind of like a combination of meditation and writing, where if you are, spiritual, you can connect to like your guides. If you are not so much into that, just connecting to yourself, connecting to, your higher self, or like your deepest needs, your deepest voice, or like just saying, what do I need to know today? Or like, what do I need to express today? And then basically, I'll put on meditation music and I'll instruct everyone to just close their eyes or create a soft gaze. So like you're not really looking. And you can start out by saying like, I am writing. And then you kind of just like, you write, I am writing. And then you just keep writing. Like you just keep on moving the pen, and it's fine if you want to control it with your thoughts. But what I do is I just like literally let myself scribble. Like I let my hand kind of move on its own. And sometimes it looks like total chicken scratch, like I can't even make anything out. But then I go back over it and I squint and I can pick out words from the scribbles. And so I like lift up words out of the scribbles, and it's really crazy, the things that come out sometimes. It's like messages from your unconscious. Or, you could say, it's just scribbles, but I think it's a really fun exercise.
No doubt.
That's right. Mhm. Mhm.
And the pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah, that's so agree 100%. Writing is incredibly powerful, and it's funny, like just to play devil's advocate too. Sometimes I feel so limited by words. I'm like the things I feel, or like the things that I want to express. Sometimes I feel like I don't have the right words for them, or like how there are words in other languages that speak about a sensation or like a very specific encounter that we don't have in English. And then this kind of just brings me back to like 1984 and Newspeak, and like how language controls our thoughts. And so everybody should really expand their vocabulary because the more
That's
words
so
you
wild.
know, the
It's
more
like
you can
everybody who
say.
studies language kind of comes to that conclusion. I don't know if you actually know that, but you're actually speaking to me and Jimmy, who have both written books about the shortcomings of language in particular.
Yeah,
But
I think there
it's
are a
really
lot of
remarkable because despite the shortcomings and the fact that we can't do everything we want to do with it, it's still probably the biggest thing we've got.
I know, right? It's still the most powerful tool that we have for self-expression, for communication, although I would argue body language is very powerful too. Everyone submit to Thirst Trap. Don't forget to submit to Thirst Trap. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm. Okay. Yo, yes. The
Do you hear me?
introduction, the letter from the editor in my zine is all about being a conscious creator and encouraging writers and artists to think about, this is a complicated one, right? Because I think there's something really important about creating work from sadness or anger or to express injustice or to express, dissatisfaction, like any of the darker spectrums of emotions and also just humanity, like what happens for real on planet Earth. But at the same time, I think that the more we consume dark material, the more we're programmed to accept it and maybe even to perpetuate it. And so that's why I wrote this letter from the editor that was, encouraging everyone to, like, even if you don't publish it, at least, try to write some positive things into existence. I think that's really important. And it comes back to, just that's it. My addition.
Yeah, no, like there's a very real sense in which the way that we interact with the world as language involves, kind of constantly processing concepts and the relationships between the concepts, and writing plugs directly into that. So it's this really kind of close up, that you can get with like the human mind, and like, maybe images are like slightly better, but images are harder to make. And so there's like sort of this sense in which writing, you're able to create things that are more abstract than you could otherwise. And I don't know, with all these, concepts as far as like Libernet and as far as with publishing, I mean, I really kind of, in some sense, feel like the times, the folks in the community and I have gotten together and sat down and created documents, that's been a big part of kind of pushing the process forward. And what I would say is that it actually seems like, even kind of on the business side, what we're doing is like writing this thing into existence. So like I can't agree hard enough with what you're saying there, Jay.
Yes. Virtual high five all around.
I heard somebody lightly in the background say, "Can you hear?"
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm David.
Hello.
David.
Hey. Yeah, so you actually can hear me. All right. Awesome. No, I just wanted to say hello, everyone. I'm part of the WIP team too. And I just wanted to say and about the word and magic, that there are actually cultures, like the real cultures that in some time they believe it about that the words have spiritual and magical ability, also skills and abilities, and one of them is Japanese culture. They have the kotodama concept, and it's basically spirit words. Like the actual meaning is spirit words, and that's why sometimes Japanese people doesn't use the name of others to call themselves, because they think that the names binds you and has kind of strong powers and that kind of stuff. And there are other cultures that has it, like the Jewish Kabbalah, or I don't know how. Yeah, Kabbalah. I don't know how to do it in English, but they also have this believing on words and the meanings of them and the power and kind of applying numbers and strongs and this kind of thing. So yeah, the words have power. That's something that the human race has been thinking from the beginning of times.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, folks, it's been great kind of getting out into the philosophical wilderness here, but we're kind of to the point where it's time to start wrapping up this show. And so, Jenna, is there anything else that you would like to make sure that the audience knows about? I'll go ahead and drop the email address that they can send their submissions to into the chat one more time here, in case anybody would like to participate in the upcoming literary magazine release. I would also like to go ahead and offer my assistance, in terms of editing that. Like if you need to send anything like to me to get, whatever my tunes are, like I'm happy to do it.
Great.
I know you're probably a better writing teacher than I am, but it can be a lot of work.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know why you'd say that. I think you're a great writer and you're a teacher, like, aren't you?
Yeah, but I used to teach philosophy. The writing I teach is really analytical, and so I have to be careful with the creative stuff to be extra supportive because some of the things that I suggest can be, I don't know.
Yes, I see. Well, I am definitely coming from the editing. I grew up doing fiction writing workshops, and I've had freaking damaging things said to me about my writing. So I basically will never damage another writer. I will never do it. I'm so supportive, and I'm always looking for, the writer's natural strengths and helping them to, build that. And, sure, I might recommend some edits or like some cuts or whatever, or some rewrites, like restructuring of phrases. But I'm pretty great at finding the highlights in everybody's stuff. But Dylan, yes, I would love to have your assistance with editing, especially as the submissions grow. So thank you so much for offering that.
And Jenna, if you have any other links that you want to share, feel free to drop any of those into the chat, and we'll also get those into the event links so they stay there and people can always kind of refer back to that, so it doesn't get so lost in the chat. But yeah, Twitter or Linktree or anything.
Yeah, sure. So
oh my God, guys, I almost forgot to get my POA. Make sure you get your POA.
Get your POAPs.
What's a POA?
It's a proof of attendance protocol, and basically it means that we're here. So when your ballot drops, if we wanted to, reward people for, participation, what we might do is start a raffle for the POAPs, and maybe it would be open for the people who participated today. So it wouldn't be the first time that we retroactively airdrop something to the participants of the Token Smart Discord. So just throwing that out there. No promises. Not saying it's going to happen, but
it's like a ticket stub, like a keepsake, but it's a cool little NFT on the XDAI chain.
That's right.
So I would just like to say one more thing to anybody who might be like adding me or trying to contact me in this Libernet message. I'm really not a Discord native. So if anybody is trying to contact me or wants to chat about anything, whether it's like astrology readings or creative writing lessons, or if you, as I mentioned before, I'm a ghostwriter and editor. So if you have a project of your own that you're like, ooh, maybe it could be fun to collab, please reach out to me, but do not tag me in any of these messages because I will not find them. Please DM me on the Discord, like do a direct message to me, or my Instagram, my personal Instagram is YoJennaYo, @YoJennaYo. So feel free to follow me on there, DM me, whatever. You can also send emails to that spiderseyezine@gmail.com. There's also an Instagram page for Spiders Eyezine, but it's, very beta alpha, in development. But if you would like, you can follow that, which is just Spiders Eyezine.
Well, it's some mystery.
All right.
I hear bully meow.
We have agreed. Oh, what we have agreed.
Go to bully meow. Thanks for coming, y'all.
You think
That's
you
it.
need
Thank you,
more
everyone.
than you
Thank you so much
need.
for having me. It sounds like we're being sung off the stage, but thank you so much, everyone. And have a beautiful Wednesday.
One channel down. It's bully meow time. Peace, love, and whipsy, y'all.